Hey guys, Scott back again with a new beer dissection slash adventure video for you, if you want to call it a true beer. I know some of you watch all my videos, some maybe the first time you're watching a video, some sporadically. But over the last week, depending on when you're viewing this video, I got a little intrigued about the Modelo Cheladas, or I think it's, if it's like Italian, CH is a K kind of sound, but maybe it is Chelada. I've seen these in the stores for a very long period of time. I didn't know how much I really wanted to try them. Just recently I did a review on the Chelada. I'm going to call it Chelada. It's maybe Chelada. That had tomato juice in it, and I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I bought this at the same exact time because even though I usually review true beers, or I do beer face-offs and things like that, these are in the store. As part of the thing on my channel I like to do is just inform people on what they're buying or what they're drinking. If I could be the guinea pig and try something that's not that great and let you know, or at least my opinion, then that's great. The one with the tomato, there's a few of these Cheladas in the store. The one I had reviewed, depending on, again, when you're watching this, if you're interested, go back to it, had tomato. Didn't make much sense to me, but someone chimed in, said they had a real Chelada or Chelada, and I'm not going to dispute that. I'm sure they're great if they're made fresh, or they're made actually in Mexico, Latin America somewhere. But this one today is the Limón y Sal, I presume salt and lime. Okay, they have the one with the tomato, salt and lime. I think I saw one which I haven't tried yet with either mango or guava or some other type of fruit. So even though I took some Spanish in high school, I'm presuming this maybe Chelada is just a name for kind of a blend of different things in beer. Okay, now Modelo shouldn't be unfamiliar to you. It's a pretty popular Vienna lager and light lager that you see, a Mexican light lager that you see in most of the grocery stores. So I even thought the one with the tomato was going to be that beer, just mixed with tomato juice. But I don't even think it was that. But anyway, on to this one. All right, I have a little bit higher hopes with this because lemon and salt makes sense to me, or lime and salt makes sense to me in a beer, if it is indeed mixed with the Modelo light lager and or Vienna lager. The tomato, not as much, but again, I didn't drink that for 20, 30 years. If people are used to that, that's great. Or again, if you have it made fresh at a bar, I'm sure it's another story. So this says, with the refreshing flavors of lime and salt brewed in Mexico, which again, hence the Modelo. I did do a beer face-off of Modelo and Corona. I appreciate the feedback. There seemed to be a lot of people like that one. But I started doing a lot of face-offs with the regular Modelo. This one, I'm trying to get the alcohol percentage, 3.5%. I think the other Chelada was the same way, at 3.5%. So very sessionable. And I like them in this because, if I buy it, I don't like it, it's no big deal, not a big investment of having like 6 or 12 pack of these beers. So anyway, and this can is 24 ounces. So I guess the equivalent of 2 beers. Regular cans, and that's pretty much it. So anyway, without further ado, let's just get this bad boy rolling here. Just a typical pint glass. The other one I was expecting had like a typical Modelo, light lager, even like a Budweiser, but because of the tomato, I believe it just looked like this, speckled orange mess in there. Okay, so let's pour this one out. Okay, now this one's pouring more like traditional Modelo, the light lager one. The other thing worth mentioning is, Bud Light, I think, has a beer infused with lime and maybe not salt. They also have, of course, the hard seltzers that have that too. In the world, the closest thing to beer with this would be a Gosa that has salt, coriander, has a little more acidity though. This I wouldn't expect to have the acidity because not using lactobacillus to kind of do it. But anyway, I don't want to go down too many of a wormhole here. Let's take a look at this. All right, a nice about an inch white head of foam. Looks like it's going to be a lot more supportive than the tomato version. Okay, here, slightly hazy, a light gold color. I think they're just made, other than with the lemon and salt, I don't think it's made with wheat or anything to create some of the haziness, but slightly hazy. I'm even getting a whiff of citrus just sitting here talking to you guys, or talking to my phone here. Let's take a sniff of the aroma. Oh yeah, so immediately, it's almost like it was infused with lime, not just, I'm hoping they use fresh lime, or at least a portion of it with fresh lime, or lime peel, lime zest. But this is a pretty strong lime smell. So you definitely get that citrus. That's pretty much it. You're not really getting any malt. Like I said, this is looking more like a Modelo light lager than anything else. So I'm thinking that we're just getting a light lager here when I taste it, with infusion of salt and lime. Now, remember, with the salt, like I said, with the Gosas, you get that, which is like a sour beer with usually coriander and salt, and very mild with the salt. It's not like you shouldn't be drinking these and feel like you're drinking a margarita with the salt rim glasses, okay? All right, so malt here, I'm sure, is very light, white bread. Not much to say, but I don't think you're drinking this for the beer. I think you're getting it for the light, refreshing aspect with the citrus and the salt. So anyway, guys, cheers. Wow. That's definitely pretty heavy with the salt, more than a Gosa would be, at least the Gosas that I've had. It is almost like you just, doused your tongue with the salt on the edge of a margarita. Definitely the citrus comes at you, the acidity hits you on the front end, levels out, and you're just kind of left with that pale malt, white bread malt on the aftertaste. Pretty effervescent here, but the salinity definitely gets you on the front end. I almost get like, on the aftertaste, I almost get like this Cinnabon type of taste. I don't know what it is. Just maybe I'm getting the residual sugar from some of the malt that's used with the beer, contrasting it with the salt. Maybe it's bringing out some of that sweetness a little bit from the malt. But again, we've already lost the head, you can see on this. But definitely strong with the citrus and the lime. It's almost like when you were a kid and you were, you lost your tooth, and what did your mother always do? They put salty water, and they said, swish your mouth out with salty water. That's kind of the level of the saltiness that I'm getting here. It's not like lip puckering or like cringeworthy, but it's definitely got a bold saltiness to it. I can see with the carbonation, even though I lost my head, that, enjoying this in the summer, I can see why a lot of people may find this as a refresher in the summer with the lime and citrus. It's actually pretty pleasant. It's a lot better than the tomato version, in my opinion, okay? That one, like I said, you can look for that video. It was kind of like a watered down, poorly made Bloody Mary. This one definitely has a little more crispness, citrus, salt. It makes more sense to me. It's almost like you're drinking a beer version of a margarita. And I definitely enjoy it a lot more than that one. But there definitely is some salt in there. It may take a little bit getting used to, but definitely better than the other one. I'm probably actually be intrigued enough now to try all the versions of this. And like one of my Facebook friends I went to high school with that chimed in, who had a real Chelada, this I find is a little bit better tasting than the other one. But I'm sure if they're made fresh at a bar, especially in Mexico or other Latin American countries, if they also seem to enjoy this type of beverage, I'm sure it's a lot better there. But this one, if I was at a party and there was a 12 pack of it, I'm drinking it or whatever, I would be able to tolerate this a lot more than the tomato version of it. So grade-wise, listen, it's tough to grade these type of beers because they're, you know, it's tough. There's not many things to compare it against. Like I'm comparing an IPA, a stout. You know, I definitely like it better than the tomato version. If you are a seltzer drinker or hard seltzer drinker with lemon lime, you may actually like this. And you know, you may want to try it one time, or if you do see it at a party or whatever, you may get that same refreshingness with the citrus, the lime, and then again, this one has a little bit of salt. The salt may take a little bit getting used to. I'm used to drinking some Ghostas with salt and coriander, so it doesn't really faze me, but you may or may not like it. You know, listen, I'll give it a, you know, a C minus, C. You know, because there's really nothing outstanding about it. I bet if I had a real Modelo, put fresh lime juice in it, added some salt, it would be a lot better than the prefabricated one that we have here. But again, just so you guys know what you're looking at, citrus. I think the base beer is their Modelo Light, so there's not much malt profile to it or hops. Very neutral, and you're throwing in definitely a bold amount of lime in the aroma as well as the flavor with that little acidity and saltiness. But again, I can see myself drinking this and I'll probably enjoy the rest of this. I may not go out of my way to buy it again just because that's just not something I've been drinking over the last 20, 30 years. But I wouldn't stick my nose up at it if you do like the seltzers and you want to try something else. All right, guys, so the beer dissection today, or whatever we want to call it, if it was really a beer, the Modelo Chelada, limon and salt and lime. Pretty refreshing, a lot better than the tomato version one. So other than that, guys, until my next beer video, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.